I have oh, geez, I have no idea where and what to track. Don't I just send my emails out and hope for the best?
I think my email is just fine, but you know what? I don't really read my emails.
No.
I'm BJ Flagg.
And I'm Rich G, and this is episode 241, Email Marketing Metrics and KPIs You Should Be Tracking.
You know, everybody gives their 2 cents on how the email marketing is doing, how well it's doing. You know, and Rich and I could talk about optimizing your email, common email mistakes you're making, examples of the best email marketing to inspire you. But we have covered all those in past episode 240. And we want to kind of take you into the idea of what are the metrics and what can we do? You know, in the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the end, it doesn't matter how optimized your emails are if you can't track the results of your efforts and measure whether or not you're helping you hit your marketing goals. So let's jump into it.
Yeah, BJ helped me write all this. So I know she says I do it, but I don't acknowledge that I do it. It just happens. So.
And here's the crazy thing. He always will say, "Oh, you know that last email I sent out? Well, this was interesting." And I'm like, okay, those are your metrics. That's you tracking things.
See, I don't realize that I do it. I'm not like, I don't put on my white lab coat and analyze my metrics through a microscope. I just like wing it. So hopefully BJ's going to help me and you take our white lab coat off and analyze our metrics in a more fun way. So,
exactly.
So our first action is to prepare your benchmarks before you send out your email. So don't do 30 KPIs. Choose 5 specific indicators of what you expect from your email's performance.
Yeah. You know, do you want to inform your audience? Do you want them to buy a specific product or service? Do you have a certain place on your website that you'd like everybody to go to? What's driving in that email? And then how can you grab the analytics for it?
Yeah, and you need to review your opens, your click-throughs, and most importantly, the ones that couldn't send. Because if the ones that couldn't send, there's a problem there. And those might be email addresses that need to come off your list. In fact, when I moved email marketing systems, I did an analysis of my entire list and found out that 30% of my list lived in Russia and China. So these were bots. So I just took them off my list because I really don't get customers in Russia and China.
Yeah.
And it really helped me a lot. So if you used a button instead of a link, did that perform better in your email? Did you use a video instead of a picture? Did that perform better?
Yeah. Get the email to tell you things. That's the most important thing. And Rich, you have a very interesting way of talking about your unsubscribes, which I think is cool.
Yeah. First of all, I tell all of my clients that BJ's told me years ago, don't worry about your unsubscribes. Okay. If you have like 2 to 5, even like 10 unsubscribes for an email, this is usually people that you caught off guard and they've gotten 200 emails that day and you just caught them in a bad mood and they're just unsubscribing from you. It's not you, it's them. Okay. So don't let an unsubscribe bother you. Now, on the other hand, if you get a lot of unsubscribes for one email, you might have stepped over the line in doing something and making it too long or too complicated.
Right.
You need to step back. So unsubscribes are a good way to analyze performance, but don't get hung up on 2 to 5 or 6 unsubscribes. Just say goodbye to them. And by the way, if they're friends, I always reach out to them
Call them on it.
What,
totally
you don't
call him
love
on
me
it.
anymore? You don't love me anymore? So,
Exactly. At which point you just send them the email through the regular email service.
yes, yes.
You can play that game. On our second action, I want you to pull your analytics 48 hours after and a week after. Yes, I need you to control yourself. Don't go look after 2 hours. That doesn't give you any good representation of what the responses have been. We have a music event client who watches as the email goes out, and they want to see how the ticket sales do. In an hour, I'll get a phone call. Oh, not that many tickets have sold. And I'll say, you have to give it time. You have to understand people are working, they're doing their errands, they're taking care of this. You're going to have to wait for a little bit to see where that bump is going to happen. And then once you see where those bumps are going to be, then track that as your new metric viewing time, because that's going to be a better representation of what's happening.
Yeah, when you put in 48 hours, you're really looking at the click-through rate. You want to see if the action you wanted them to take actually occurred. If you're keeping them on the email, you want to check open rates and compare to a similar email at 48 hours. This is going to tell you how the email actually worked for you. This will also be a good time to see my favorite, unsubscribes. They tend to be reactionary, so they happen early on, but they don't happen later.
Yeah. And then at the week mark, really what you're doing is closing the door on those analytics. You want to see how the full analytics are and transfer those over to your marketing content calendar Excel sheet that has the tab set up for tracking analytics. At that point, you have this one-stop place that you can view all your analytics. So it's super helpful to have that. A lot of my clients will say, oh, I just go back and look in my constant contact. And I went, do you? Do you really? No, you don't. So having to do the effort of putting it into the Excel makes you review them. And that's a good movement.
Our third action is consider the unopened. Okay, they're telling you something. Okay, your subject line might not be catchy enough. It might not catch their attention. In fact, I've been finding if I use the recipient's name in the subject line, my opens have exploded. I'll just say, Rich, are you doing this? And people will read it. They will click on it. If you haven't been consistent with the type of email you're providing, sometimes people go all over the place.
Right.
They provide an informational email. They provide a product selling email. Then they provide an all copy email that is very short and there's a call to action, or another email that gives away something free. If they switch it up a lot, people are like going, what's going on? They might not even know who you are, and they just kill you.
Yeah. And it's just not the way you want to do it. A lot of people also, when they go to expect your emails, say you send out one that's very storytelling, where you're telling a great story, you're sharing the different blogs you wrote this week, that kind of thing. Send it out on the same day every time. They'll expect it. They actually enjoy it. If it comes to them on their Friday morning and they open it up Friday morning, it just starts their day, and they love that. They come to expect it. So it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, I Law and Order just started up new episodes after a few years. I'm a big Law and Order fan, and they come out every Tuesday. And I go to the streaming service and I save it to watch it at lunchtime, just to decompress between clients. And for some reason, they'll miss a week, and I don't know why, or 2 weeks. I'll have to wait for an episode. And I'm like, I'm ready. I have my lunch. I'm all set to click on my Law and Order. People are like that. They're
Yeah.
creatures of habit. They do this type of thing.
Right. Right.
And always keep
Hmm.
adding people to your list. Keep trying to grow it. Offer, what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks is offering a simple playbook giveaway to get their email info. So I'm going to do that on LinkedIn and in other places to get people to sign up to get that free uh, report or that free thing that you can give away to get their email and sign them up.
Yeah. And it's, you're using other services. You're using your website, you're using social, all that type of stuff to gain those emails. So, that's fantastic because as your list grows, it balances out your unsubscribes and it's great. It works really, really well. Our fourth action is convert your metrics into next steps. Each month, review your analytics and see what they've told you. Understand and notice the indicators that are not really giving you any usable data back and change up those metrics. You want to be able to get usable, actionable steps that you can make some things happen.
Yeah, you want to have metrics that will help you continually change your emails to get the best results because a lot of people are like, well, I mean, I don't know what to do. My emails just aren't working. It's like, well, the metrics, the performance of your past emails are indicators of what you need to do next.
Yeah.
If you're not getting a lot of opens, maybe your subject line needs changing, so they point you in the right direction.
Yeah. And, as Rich was saying in the previous action point, continuing to have people cleaning your list, you're going to have a result in your metrics that you're going to be so thrilled about. And, if we can say anything out of this whole mix, it's owning your metrics, owning and changing and honing that skill. You're going to be really happy.
Wait. I know a new term. I know a term. It's called data hygiene. That's cleaning your list. Data hygiene. And BJ, you didn't think I knew that.
I'm impressed.
Data
I'm so impressed.
hygiene.
Guys, he's a work in progress. That's all I can say. All right. Hey, we have a really fantastic resource today.
Yes.
Do your work. All the email clients that we obviously work on quite a few of them, but the Constant Contacts, the MailChimp, the Campaign Monitor, they all have fantastic videos to watch, fantastic information on how each of the segments can work. Listen to them and watch them. I'm telling you, if you spent even a half an hour a week catching a couple of their blurbs, your emails are going to be phenomenal. So that is our resource for today.
Yeah, I always say to my clients, always go on YouTube and type in MailChimp metrics. And there's going to be 100 videos of people telling you how to do it. So you can go to MailChimp's site and they have videos there, and you can go to YouTube. And there are also lots of podcasts that are all about just emails or email metrics. So you could do a lot. If you want to get deeper on this, you can.
Yeah. And you have to understand, we're scratching the surface. Yeah. There are people, we had a great car wash account, and we were tracking locations, even like parts of zip codes. We were getting into, real nitty gritty type of things, using Facebook pixels and this and that, everything to see what all the conversions were. That's all well and good, but that's not going to help a small business who really needs to just concentrate on 5 great, metrics and keep moving their email marketing along. So I have a great premium sponsor today that I'd like to introduce you to. If you find yourself stuck on how to track and leverage your audience's behavior, you need Rich to help you develop a strategy to make it easy and, most of all, effective. Since it's getting warmer out and the trees are exploding and Rich has bad allergies, no, Rich is offering a complimentary spring coaching chat to our podcast listeners. Contact Rich at richg.com. There's a Calendly link in his homepage just to make it easier.
And our other premium sponsor is BJ Flag. Do email marketing metrics flummox you? You can have the best email program by teaming up with New Renew Brand Marketing. You need their innovative team to help propel your business to the next level of marketing knowledge. Reach out to BJ at New Renew Brand Marketing at NURENU.com.
Thanks to our producer and Prince of Podcasts, Richard Scalzo, who as always brings his A game. He brings us the best small business podcast every Tuesday.
Have an unbelievable week and catch you later.